It is my honor and my privilege to speak with you today at your Dream Builders graduation. I was exactly where you were, January 2016. I had a business idea, actually a couple of them, and a great foundation. Today I would like to encourage you as you continue your journey. Well, actually it's an adventure, and let you know what I've learned along the way. Let me give you a little background how it all started and how I started my nonprofit and my other businesses. In about 2008, I managed the urgent care in Morenci, and actually I still do. I noticed that the nurses would help patients by paying for their medications when they couldn't afford it. They would also give them gas money to help people get to locations like TMC when their loved ones were being flown out by helicopter. I'm not sure or exactly remember how it all happened, but a couple of friends and I that worked at the clinic, Terry Andazola and Veronica Babb, started to talk about creating a petty cash fund. We started to raise money by hot dog sales, concessions, at movie at the park, and we did many other fundraisers. We let the pharmacy and the doctors know that we had this money for patients to help with medications. Soon after, that grew into durable medical equipment such as walkers, wheelchairs, and bedside commodes. During COVID, we provided portable pulse oxes to help patients that were high risk and that had COVID. And this was all done free of charge through our nonprofit. In 2015, I have a good friend, Emily Muteb. After a meeting, she told me, "We don't have anyone that prints t-shirts locally. You should start that business." I told her, yes, I should start that business. I had no experience in business. I had no experience in design or designing t-shirts especially. The only thing I knew is I loved Life is Good t-shirts because they had a good message and they were comfortable. The business my husband started was after my t-shirt business. It was a ring making business. He was out of work for a short time because he had shingles on his head, so he couldn't put on a hard hat. He was watching YouTube during that time and he saw that people were making rings out of different things like wood and resin. And he bought a lathe and started ring making, and he was quite good at it. I will tell you about the latest business we just started in 2022. It's called Ray LaRose. So gather all that information and into a Dream Builders class I started. And as I did Dream Builders, I actually used my nonprofit to come up with a business plan. Many ideas flowed out of this process. And I don't know how many of you love the character of Alma, but I sure did. She was encouraging and she was successful. I almost wanted to start a bakery because of her, but I do not bake and I do not cook very well. But she was so encouraging. I just love that character. And like Alma, I would like to encourage you by giving you 5 tips on what I've learned on this journey so you can also be successful. And remember, success doesn't just mean money, but it also means what you can provide for other people as well. Number 1, don't get discouraged. You will have many, many challenges. And absolutely, like with anything new, anything worth doing has challenges, but sometimes these challenges can be created into opportunities or can be changed into opportunities. Remember my husband with the shingles? I can remember the first time I applied for CIF funding, the Community Health Investment Fund through Freeport. I wrote a grant for our nonprofit to fund the different things we were involved with. But our nonprofit was denied. We were not granted the grant at all. I literally cried. I rushed out of the CIF meeting into my car and just cried. I think sometimes when you have so much heart and passion to something, you take it very personal when you're declined funding, especially when it's a great idea like healthy vending machines. The committee did not find the value, but they also did not know our story either. They didn't know how we started and the work we were doing. I was discouraged, absolutely discouraged, but I did not let it affect my nonprofit. I later applied for United Way funding for Legos for a robotics class I was teaching, and I received that funding. And we also have received funding from United Way for the Greeley County Health Fair. We also have employees at Freeport that believe in our nonprofit and they donate monthly. We also have a project that we'll be working on that we'll be pitching to the school soon. Students that have delinquent lunch bills to help them pay those down so they get a regular lunch and not the paper bag lunch that brings so much stigma. The second tip I have is to do something you really love and believe in. Doing this, I believe, is the reason I did not get discouraged after being declined funding to the CIF fund. I knew I wanted to help people and I knew what a difference we were already making in our community. If you don't do something you're passionate about, I think discouragement comes even easier. Doing something you love, you become an expert in. It makes me think about Royce Hunt Bell. I worked with her in the United Way board. She has a business that she works full-time at. She was able to quit her 9-to-5 job. She found something she loves. She is creative and crafty. She continues to build her business, and in a recent lunch with her, she told me that she was building a better product for her and her customers. In order to be successful, you are always proving, never stagnant. And I think Royce Hunt Bell is a great example of that. Number 3, have a good mentor. I'm sure you've heard iron sharpens iron. And I think that with business, having someone to glean off of or someone to bounce ideas off of is important. These people have been through the same things many times that you are going through, or they can give you ideas to help you get through the obstacles you face. In my nonprofit, I did not have a mentor, but I have a fabulous board. We work together and come up with new ideas. We also encourage each other. I remember one year for 4th of July, we were thinking of a way to raise money during the parade. And snow cones were not an option because we did not have electricity. And we came up with watermelons on a stick. It was easy to do during the parade, and we could still sell hot dogs during lunchtime. Being around a good board and/or a mentor can make a difference. Number 4, have an elevator speech. You're going to have many people come up to you and ask you about your business. This has happened to me many times. People are curious. They want to know. People have asked me about my nonprofit, and I give them the 30-second introduction of how our nonprofit helps people in Greeley County with medication, durable medical equipment, and other needs, and how we're funded through United Way and other fundraising needs. The same thing with my t-shirt business. When I'm asked, I tell them my t-shirt business started because I wanted to help local schools and nonprofits be able to provide t-shirts to kids or the community for a lower cost than they would receive retail. Telling your why is important not only for your future customers, but also to keep you grounded as well. Number 5, stay in close contact with Eastern Arizona small business centers. This is something I did not do, and I believe it was a hindrance. I have kept handwritten ledgers for our nonprofit and computer ledgers for my t-shirt business. But this has been a hindrance because I do not have a good record-keeping means, and I will soon be taking a QuickBook class to help with that. So at the end of the year, I'm not struggling with receipts and printing out documents I would need to show what I've earned and spent for my business. You have a wealth of knowledge at the Eastern Arizona Small Business Development Center. Tori, for example, has created a successful business from the ground up, and I'm sure she has given you great advice. But I hope she also has told you about the awards she received because of her perseverance and hard work. These are the people you have on your side ready to guide you. Reach out to them. Those are my tips. But the last thing I would like to talk to you about is your legacy. Shannon Alder said, "Carve your name on hearts, not tombstones." A legacy is etched into the mind of others and the stories they share about you. When you start a business, believe it or not, it's part of your legacy. Something you're able to leave behind. I never knew that when I started my business, it would be something my daughter and I could do together. She has helped me with fundraising in our nonprofit. Here she is in the 4th of July parade. She has helped make t-shirts. She has done so much folding, dozens and dozens of t-shirts she has folded. And now we started our new business I told you I would let you know about. It's called Ray LaRose. Ray, R-E-Y, is the name of our miniature schnauzer, La for Laura, and Rose for Rosalind. I started this originally because I record educational videos for work as well as for church, for dramas my daughter and her friends are in, and testimonies. But now we've come full circle. We are using it for education on Instagram. My daughter is a chief science officer at Morenci High School, and she has made it one of her goals to provide a weekly science video on Instagram, as well as starting a robotics program. She has the knowledge to edit these videos and post. It has been a great outlet for increasing STEM in our rural area, and I'll share her latest video with you at the end of this video. You never know where your business will take you, and I certainly didn't know when I graduated from Dream Builders in 2016. The sky's the limit for you. Best of luck. Don't place limits on yourself or on your abilities. You will do great. Congratulations.